Hey there, and welcome to episode 47 of Cast Reflect. I'm your host Josh, and I'm joined today by Connell Lucas Ruth Jennings.
Hello.
Adam Smith.
You right there, mate?
Yeah. And Carlie McGarity.
Hello.
The other section of Reflect.
Section? We didn't say half.
The third.
The other third. Yeah. How are you guys? All right? Con, you good?
Yeah, good, mate.
We're doing a live podcast
In
this week.
person.
So this is, if it sounds shit, that's why that is. So sorry, you just have to put up with that.
Get over it.
You come down from Brighton, mate.
Made the long trek down.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
How was it?
It's fine, actually. Yeah, it's fine. It was busy. Went Southampton way. Don't trust Portsmouth line anymore.
Terrible.
Too many cancellations.
Nah, that's fair. Yeah, the old Southern Railway fucking shit on. We had Adam came over. We had a little game of Magic the Gathering just a minute ago.
We did.
I won my first game.
Did. Congratulations. GG.
Adam won one. You haven't won one yet.
I haven't won one, no, because everyone bullied me.
I mean, you opened yourself up for that.
I did.
It was...
Yeah. And you've been playing The Sims 4, Carlie, while we've been playing Magic the Gathering.
Quite the contrast.
Yeah.
How was your Sims 4 session?
It's great. I've not been playing Sims 4 for long. I've always been like firmly Sims 3 and nothing. And
Represent.
yeah. I
Sims
like
3
it.
is the best, I think, though, isn't it?
It is. I fucked it because I used too much custom content.
And you killed my computer because of it.
Well, you've just completely modded your game.
Yeah, to the point where you just can't really play it anymore. You go to place it like
Just broke it.
object down and it doesn't want to know. So I'm really sad. But yeah, new beginnings on The Sims 4.
Yeah,
and
mate. Yeah.
It's had a load of shit, but I actually think it's alright so far. And it's the base game as well. So
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
No.
If I remember, I think a lot of the shit it got was around the release model. So it was like so little content in the base game and everything was around buying extra things to add in.
Yeah, there's so many like
There's so many
expansions.
expansions in there.
And it's not just
Sims.
expansions as well, it's like kits and
Yeah.
packs. It's like, oh my god.
Is that the sort of like format and business model that they go for now then in the
Yeah,
I think so.
Sims?
Sims, yeah. It's like, it's almost like the free-to-play model, right? It's like the base game itself. I don't know whether it is free or whether it's just like...
Yeah, it is now.
Okay, right.
And then everything else that you want to add on is just premium content, essentially.
That's how they get you. It'd be interesting to see how it's going to like shift when Paralives comes out because they
You're well
announced
excited
like...
for this game, aren't you?
I am, but all the they've said there's not going to be any paid expansions. Like anything they release on it's all going to be free. So
it's all free.
So their business model is literally just going, it's not going to be like The Sims.
basically,
Yeah, basically.
The complete polar opposite.
Yeah. Nice, cool. Well, this week we're going to do like a special sort of episode as it's live. If the quality's a bit rubbish and there's a bit of noise, like you'll have to just put up with it. We're going to do some questions. Just have a general chat, some general video game related questions. Everyone's done their homework. Hopefully, most of us. Connell hasn't done his, but he doesn't need to, does he?
Travelling, won't I?
Yeah.
I feel like we need
Perfect time to do notes, if anything. You're travelling down on a train.
Mate, I had some Vampire Survivors to be playing, so
Okay,
it's
yeah,
Great
not
game.
going to play itself.
Great
yeah.
It actually almost does sometimes, but
It does.
it really does. Yeah.
It does.
Well, we'll just go straight into it. It's going to be a bit of a off the cuff episode. No reflect selects, no what you've been playing or anything like that. But yeah, ready?
Yeah,
Should we do it?
why not?
So I've got 10 questions here for you, and credit to Carlie as well for coming up with this idea and providing most of the questions here. So well done, Carlie. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Well, I'll start with you, Con, as you're the most experienced podcaster here.
Done my least homework. Go
And
on.
you've done the least homework. Question number 1
Is,
why do you love video games so much?
yeah, I think for me it's the like escaping reality factor of it. It's definitely in terms of like media, if I've got spare time and I could watch a TV show or watch a film or listen to a podcast or an audiobook or read a book, my first choice would always be video game.
Yeah, agree.
Like every time, and it always has been basically my whole life. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I suppose I've always loved them, but for me, it's just my go-to way to pass free time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I think especially with like the escapism factor, that's something which I always lean into.
Yeah,
is
definitely.
To go to. And I think as well, like for me, where I was like an only child, I know it sounds really sad because I wasn't like a loner. I was a bit, but like I was like
Deep personal already.
we're in. No, I just like always found comfort in them. Like it was like, actually, I don't feel the need to go out because I'm playing a game
I've
and
got
I'm
my
well
friends
into
in
it.
this
So,
game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Like a safe space.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I always remember like going to like Blockbuster with my dad, and like on a Friday night, and he'd be like, right, we can like rent a game, and usually you had it for like a week, so it was always like a bit of a treat, 'cause then you could go and pick one, and I was like really looking
became
forward
like
to
a
that.
tradition.
So
that
mad
you
that I
did
used
with
to
your dad.
rent games.
Yeah.
I miss that.
Yeah.
Mad.
Like
Yeah.
go and rent a physical game
Yeah.
and take the disc home. and
Yeah,
go
I
to
never
sleep.
really rented, like, being young, like, when I was younger, like, my parents would not rent a game. It would be probably twice a year that I'd get a game, like, probably, like,
Yeah,
birthday and Christmas.
Yeah.
And, like, it would be, like, a big occasion, sort of, like...
Yeah, like your brand new game.
Yeah.
To make it count.
Yeah, I was super lucky growing up with like an older brother. Like I've said to you before, Con, like Ross was like in his late teens, early 20s when I was growing up. So it was I was super lucky in terms of like I got to play consoles and games like through Ross, you know what I mean? So I was quite lucky in that regard. But definitely like the escapism side of it is like when you just want to turn off and just forget about like all your shit that you got going on in life.
Definitely.
I don't think there's anything better personally than a video game. Like, yeah, I think we can all agree that is kind of like the escapism of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And they're just the best thing ever, aren't they? They're just the best thing ever.
Can't
Love
beat
them.
it.
You just can't beat a video game. That's why we're doing a video game podcast. Right, number 2. If you could spend a week in the life of a video game character, who would it be and why? Adam?
Okay, so I have gone for Pokemon Trainer.
Nice. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
from like original. Well, it would be probably like I guess red and blue or like the gold and silver, but I would be.
Ash Ketchum.
It's not Ash Ketchum though, is it? It's like I don't know, whatever you call your. But I would
Yeah,
love to
Adam
be.
Ketchum.
Ketchup.
I would love to be in that Pokemon world. Like, get me there. Just don't have to have a job. Just go around trading Pokemon, catching
Yeah,
Pokemon, like loving life.
It'd be pretty sick. It'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, because I thought about this. It's
You've got
like
a week to catch 'em all.
tell me a week that you would like to spend in a video. It's just like most of the games I play, I don't think I'd want to be in that video game
So,
world. Like,
yeah,
as much as I love like
There's a
Elden
lot of
Ring and,
turmoil.
and Dark Souls and things like that, it's just like, would I really want to spend a week there?
So
Hell
I should have caveated this before we recorded, but when I was thinking of my answer, I was thinking, okay, so like this is the best possible version of that world.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So maybe it's like, you know, you could live in Rapture, right, in Bioshock, but it wouldn't be like Rapture as you know it in the game. It would be it's
peak.
when
When
it's
it
a
was-
utopia
yeah.
rather than like a dystopia. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I would be way worse at taking out Godric the Grafted in real life
Yeah,
than I am in Elden Ring, right? Like,
yeah.
don't need to be doing that mano a mano.
Yeah, nah, you don't want to be. You don't want to be doing.
So
that.
I don't want to be like bumping into Milena.
Oh, Gwyn the Lord of Cinder, bring it on, sunshine.
I'll throw my magic cards at you. Carlie, anything on that? Did you have an answer? Or?
Yeah, I thought quite a bit, and I was like back and forth on it, but I think I just want to be Link and just explore Hyrule, but
Yeah.
like Breath of the Wild Link.
Breath. Okay.
So
I was
you got
going
your
to say.
glider, you got your glider,
Yeah,
and you're
you're
just
fearless, you know.
There's no Calamity Ganon. You're just cruising around Hyrule.
Yeah,
It's
going
just
hang out with
sound.
Zelda for a bit. She's always got
Yeah.
something to say. She's interesting, and I just thought it'd be.
I mean, Hyrule would be a pretty sick place to live. I think. Like if it was fine.
Yeah,
Do you know
like,
what I mean?
no,
And it wasn't the
yeah.
end of the world perpetually. Like, I reckon it'd be a pretty nice place to live. Everyone seems pretty sound in Hyrule.
They're all pretty chilled, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
There's not really like too much animosity there,
Nah,
so
nah.
I think
It's
you're all good
nice.
with that one. There'd be some nice biomes and areas to hang out in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd love it.
It would be good. It would be good.
Yeah.
Con, you got anything with that off the top of your head?
Not really, no.
No. It's
No.
I'd say
It's
this
a
is
tough
probably.
one.
It is
I'd
a
say
tough
this is
one.
probably like the one of two like hard questions that are hard where you might have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah, it's more just like, what sort of video game world would I want to exist in? I don't know.
So that's kind
Like-
of what I took from it and chose Mass Effect.
Theme park world would be pretty fun.
That's really
Yeah.
that's really weird that you say that, because my other choice on that was actually Commander Shepard. Like
Yeah.
Mass Effect. I was just like,
Yeah. That's what.
by all means, I'll sit on the Normandy and you can whiz me around the galaxy, go see all these
Just
different
go around to
worlds.
different planets and stuff,
Yeah.
and like there's no bad guys or anything. You're just going around to these different planets and like just hanging out,
Just living life.
going to the
Banging
bars, banging aliens,
Banging all the aliens.
banging Aquarian. That's basically what I had for mine because I just thought.
I would love to bang all the aliens.
aliens. Yeah.
All Louis Ara.
No, I just thought it'd be cool, like to go into space. Do you know what I mean? And that'd be a great way to do it because you could just zip between different planets.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you were just going to bring up banging aliens.
Yeah.
Using
Using the Mass Effect relay.
using my Mass Effect relay. Yeah, cool. Right, next one. What's your ultimate comfort blanket game? So I'm going to go to you, Carlie, on this one.
Mass
Start
Effect, because you can bang loads of aliens.
That's actually exactly what I've got written down.
Skip your answer.
Yeah.
I feel I've probably already answered it, but The Sims.
Yeah.
Sims
Yeah.
3. Or
It's a good choice.
I
It's a
love-
good choice thing.
I love a cozy game, so it'd probably be Animal Crossing as well.
Yeah, like it is a comfort blanket, isn't it?
It
Like,
is,
just-
yeah.
Just a big
Yeah.
blanket someone's thrown over you.
It's the really,
Really similar for me. Mine's Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Same sort of
Yeah.
vibe.
I think those sorts of games, definitely are going to crop up.
Mine is a game called Illusion of Time.
Never heard of this, ever.
Also, a game known as Illusion of Gaia in America, like the European release is called
Right,
Illusion of Time, and it's it's from the 16-bit era. It's a SNES game, and it's
nice.
just like an action RPG.
Sick.
It's pretty it's pretty straightforward. You just play as
Yeah.
a young boy, go through the story. It's sort of high fantasy sort of thing, and I don't know. It just sort of takes me back to like being really young, and I don't know. And I just feel really
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, it just makes me feel good, like nostalgic. If I'm
Yeah,
ever like a
yeah.
bit sort of like, I don't know what to play or what to do, I'll often just go back to that game. Like I literally couldn't tell you how many times like I've played that game through and completed it, and it's just one of them that I always fall back onto.
Oh,
And
sick.
I think where I'm just really big into like pixel art as well, it just
Scratches that. itch as well.
it just does it all for me. So that's.
Illusion of Time.
Yeah,
I've
you
never
should
heard
play
of
it.
that. Yeah,
You
it
should
sounds
definitely
like
play
right
it.
up my
It's
street,
part of
yeah.
a trilogy, like the it's called. I think it's called like the Soul trilogy. And the first one is Soul Blazer. Then you've got Illusion of Time, and then you've got Terranigma.
Right. Okay.
And
Never heard of any of them.
first one's not so great. Like it's sort of finding its sort of feet. Second one,
Yeah.
Illusion of Time, really good. Terranigma, probably the best one.
Nice.
Definitely
nice.
recommend playing it though.
Yeah,
It'd
never
be
heard
right
of
up
it.
your street.
Yeah,
You'd love it.
it sounds like you're describing the sort of game that I would play. Definitely. I had Subnautica.
Ooh.
Just because I fucking love that game. Like I
That's
just
more like a fire blanket game, though.
Currently playing that at the
maybe.
moment.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, loving it.
Oh, mate,
loving
did you
it.
see that what they leaked about the next one?
Yeah.
4-player co-op?
Next episode. No, it's fine. Yeah.
Don't tell him.
I'm
Spoilers for the next.
Yeah, because I've heard some stuff about this as well, but
Yeah.
maybe I won't go into it then.
No, it's
No.
fine. It's fine. Yeah, I have. Yeah. I think it was the publisher came out and said like, oh, it's going to be a live service game and stuff like this, and then the dev were like, no, it's not. It's going to be single player with the option of co-op or multiplayer. And when they said live service, they meant it's going to be updated. It's going to have free updates for a period of time.
I think that term...
Which is really nice, because I was super
It's like a
fucking
buzz
worried.
term.
It is a buzz term. And
Yeah, it
it's
gets
sort of
misinterpreted like,
all the time.
Yeah. I had Command and Conquer as well, because like you, like Adam, that is like a nostalgia thing for me as well, but that might come up again in the question a little bit later. Right, question number 4. If you could forget one game and experience it for the first time again, what would it be? Carlie, I know you've got an answer for this, and I think we might have the same one, so why don't you start?
It might be the same as mine.
Ooh.
Breath of the
Maybe.
Wild.
Not the same as mine.
Breath of the Wild.
Don't
That's
care.
the same.
I will have no Zelda slagging off in this house today.
Is there no love there?
I don't mind it.
It's
It's
just-
fun. I liked it. The first Zelda I ever played was Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, wow. Why Breath of the Wild?
Absolutely love that game. I think if I'd gone to the head, what was your favourite game? It'd be Breath of the Wild. Even though I love Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
and it's improved Breath of the Wild in so many ways. It's just I can't
The
shake
thing is,
that
though, yeah.
first feeling of ever playing
Yeah.
that game. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't articulate into like words why I love it. I
so
just
much.
do.
Yeah.
The whole thing and how I feel when I play it. Like
I think there was like nothing like it.
yeah,
Really, like open world games were just the same until Breath of the Wild came out. Like genuinely, I think that it literally changed. The
I
game.
think it definitely like broke the mold
Yeah.
in like to a certain degree.
Well, it was the first game I played that like really gave you like freedom to kind of do what you to go where you wanted,
yeah.
and you could find ways to get there. Like that, you could find multiple ways to get there. Do you know what I mean? You weren't restricted to a linear path
I
like a
think that-
lot of open world games do. It's like, yeah, you can go and look at this map and search around, blah blah blah, but you can only get up there if you've got the climbing gear or whatever. And Breath of the Wild just completely just went, fuck that. You can get up there. If you can't get up that way, you can get up another way. Like, you can figure it out. Do you know what I mean? It was down to the player.
No one's got like the same experience of that game.
No, exactly.
And
Yeah, definitely. Everyone sort of has a different playthrough, don't they? Like
Yeah.
completely. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in my opinion, it's one of the best video games ever made by like a
Yeah.
considerable distance, I think, in terms of its impact and how it changed. Like,
not even
and I'd stick Elden Ring in there as well, but Elden Ring wouldn't exist without Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Not in the same way.
N-
Not in the same way. Personally.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
The other one I had was Persona 5 as well, because that's,
I need to
just
Nice.
play
a
that.
ridiculous game.
It's
Like, I wish, like, I would play it again if it wasn't 100 hours, do you know what I mean?
it is very time consuming.
I would easily forget that game.
And it's
play
not
again.
a sort of game that you
so
can really
good.
sort of just like pick up and put down.
Nah.
It's sort of
No.
you're either in or you're out.
Yeah, exactly. What about you two? You got anything?
For me, first time that I would experience again, it would probably be not my favourite game, but for me, like probably Mario 64. And
Yeah.
for me, that goes back to
Well, like, at the time. So
at
you're
the-
there at the
yeah,
time,
at the time,
Yeah.
it like I'd never ever seen anything like it. I remember it was a Christmas, and yeah, went downstairs, opened up a present. It was an N64, and like everyone's seen that video of like it was literally like
That's you, is it?
It might as well have been, and it was literally that, and then like going upstairs, like
Yeah.
working out how to like plug it all in and everything, turn it on, and it was just like, and I'm like seeing Mario there in like 3D for the first time, and I mean, I must have been about.
You realise you got pilot wings with it instead of.
It
oh my God.
was such a naff game.
Yeah, pilot
it
wings.
is so bad.
Yeah.
And it must
Sorry.
have been about. I must have been about 9 years old, maybe 10. And at the time, I'd never seen like a game anything
Yeah.
like that, and it just sort of blew my mind.
Look
And
at the graphics.
yeah, just like Christmas time, you got a couple of weeks off from school. Just all you got to do is just be playing games. You're all cozy, just eating loads of food, and it's just the whole sort of experience. I think, and that moment I would experience again. I think that's what I would want to experience again.
Yeah.
If it wasn't that though, it would be BioShock.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a good choice. That twist. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say.
No.
I wasn't gonna say about the twist.
That's
but
good. That
Probably spoiled it
that-
multiple times on this podcast. Really.
I mean, it is like 20 years old. It's like 15 years old.
Talking of spoilers,
Yeah.
mine would be The Last of Us.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Good choice.
specifically the start of that game when you play as Joel and Joel's daughter.
Yeah.
And when you get out of the town, and then obviously then she dies.
Yeah.
I think the first time I played that hit me harder than most, probably any video game ever has.
Yeah. It's
To be able to experience that again genuinely for the first time would be like really impactful.
Yeah. The emotional.
Yeah. So that's mine. Yeah.
I think
Lovely.
another one for me as well would be Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. What, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because just again,
Yeah,
like,
that's an incredible game. Yeah.
yeah, I think it was the first game which brought me to tears.
Yeah.
Like the
What, the
ending, yeah. I just remember like I was quite hungover, and my mum and dad like my bedroom was
Sounds
downstairs.
like you're going to start crying.
Yeah, isn't it? Brilliant, John. Like,
I can see it now. It's bringing it all back.
Like no matter how many times you like try to save him, you just can't. But yeah, it was just the most like just my mum and dad were killing it for me though, because when my bedroom was downstairs, I stupidly left my door open. I didn't obviously expect the ending to go down the way it did.
Yeah.
And they were just like, I could just hear them backwards and forwards. Like my mum was like telling my dad to like, he had to like hoover or something. And I was just like, for fuck's sake, do you not know what I'm going through right now?
To the Marston lineage.
Please. Also, I didn't want them to know that I was crying at a video game because my dad would never let me live that down. So stuck between a rock and a hard place really. But yeah, that'll be another one.
Yeah, no, that's a good choice. I think that's one of the first. Games actually I remember playing where like you die in the end. Do you know what I mean? Like where the good guy. Well, you say good guy. You know what I mean? Like the protagonist kind of just dies at the end.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And his son's just not as good.
No.
Like.
We don't have any time to sort of spend with him, really.
No,
do we?
you
So-
haven't really sort of grown that sort of emotional attachment
Yeah.
or spent any time with him really to sort of get that bond.
Yeah.
There's also the immediate bitterness of just being like, well, you're not John Marston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you can live in your father's shoes?
Forget it. Your father's boots.
Slow.
Right, lovely stuff. Question 5. If you could have any video game character as a sidekick, who would you pick? So I knew mine pretty instantly for this, and it's BD1 from the Star Wars games, the new Star Wars games. Fucking awesome little droid. Super cute, super reliable. Just fucking can do loads of cool shit. I just think that would be... And he can just like sit on your back. And just stand on your back and just sit on your shoulder and just chill the fuck out. I'd say, yeah, that was mine. What about you guys?
Well, mine was similar to what Adam was saying earlier. I went with Pikachu.
Yeah, I thought Pokemon would be a pretty popular one for this. Yeah,
Just a pretty spot on sidekick, and he's just
yeah.
hang around with you, just electrocute that guy for being a bellend. Yeah, go for it.
Buy on a motorbike, just electrocute him for me.
Yeah, it's just also cute. Like has that sort of like pet factor about it. So
Yeah.
just build that sort of like man and his dog bond with Pikachu.
Yeah, no, it'd be good. I think Pokemon's a pretty good choice, isn't it?
Yeah, I've also gone down the same route as Con. Like
Yeah.
I've also like picked a Pokemon, but
Pokemon?
it's Charizard.
Yeah,
Like,
fucking have him stop him.
he can fly. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's
you can
true, yeah,
you can just hop on
cruise
his
everywhere,
back.
yeah.
Like, you could probably have a bit of a little cuddly time with him if you needed to. It's like,
Keep you warm.
he's definitely got a soft side.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good.
Because I struggled with this one, like to choose a sidekick. It's just like, would I actually really want to hang out with any of them for like a prolonged period of time?
I
Like,
think that's kind of why I went for a droid as well, because it's like, I'm just going to turn you off. Like, I love you, mate, but you need to go and recharge your battery.
Can't turn another human being off for a bit, can you?
yeah, like a lot of the games that I play, like the characters often repeat their sentences over and over again. So it's just like, would I just be like chilling out with this guy and he's literally just like some NPC just saying the same sentence over and over again? It's just like, you're driving me mental.
I'm surprised you didn't go for Aquarian.
Yeah, no, slavery wasn't in my don't go for that. I could have done. I could have picked an alien for Mass Effect, but yeah, I'll leave that to my week off as Commander Shepard.
That's like what happens in Vegas stays in.
What happens in Mass Effect stays in Mass Effect. Oh god, Carlie, you got anything for this?
Yeah, I'd have Yoshi.
Yoshi, yeah. Excellent
That's
choice.
also a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, as well, I hate spiders. And I just think Yoshi would sort you out. I feel like
Yeah, you just go around.
Yeah.
Just
Turn him into an egg.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
yeah,
I like it how we've all sort of like just gone for like sort
pet
of
of
a
some
pet.
sort.
It's pretty
Yeah.
much just like having an animal. Like
Yeah,
none
yeah,
of us have
exactly.
chose like to have a sidekick as like a human or anything.
Nah.
It's just like can't be dealing with that.
Need your space, don't you?
Animals are way better than humans.
A lot easier.
And so are droids. Right, wicked. Right, number 6. What game has frustrated you the most, and were there any consequences? Tough on this.
When you say consequences, what do you mean?
Like a smash telly, a smash controller. Did you hurt yourself? That sort of thing.
So mine is, because there's like definitely only one time I broke something playing a video game, and that was playing Gears of War 2
Right.
online. And Gears of War is probably the game that, like, I think you said in one of the previous episodes that like DOD was your game where you were like, yeah, I was fucking sick
Really
of
good
that
at it,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, Gears of War was that for me. I was
Right.
like, this is me in the zone.
Absolute pro.
So I used to get like really competitive because I got to the point where I was actually quite good at it.
Yeah.
Which was worse, really, because then I cared more when I actually got beaten by
Yeah, it
someone.
makes losing worse.
Yeah, exactly. And there was definitely a point in like competitive Gears of War playing where so what I did was I got killed and I stood up and I hit my radiator with my controller in my hand. So I was holding on to like one half of the arm of the controller, one of the arms, and hit the radiator with the other arm, and it just split the controller like perfectly down the middle, and it just exploded and just went across the room. And I was still living with my mum at the time, and my mum was just like from the other room was like, "What was that?" Like, nothing. Just broken my fucking controller.
Did you have a backup?
I had one backup.
Oh, yeah. You were like, I did have one backup, and then that one got smashed as well.
But that's the only time I've ever broke anything because of a video game, and I regretted it immediately.
Yeah,
the moment it hit the radiator and it went, I was just
and you're just like, fuck's sake, I'm such a dick.
why have I done that?
You've only got yourself to blame as well.
Yeah. I can't control my anger, so it's completely.
And
my
I was
fault.
good enough to have not been killed. That's the annoying thing.
Yeah.
I could have saved all of that just by being better.
Yeah. No, mate, it's fucking online competitive games are they're fucking horrible, mate. They're horrible. Adam, you got anything to add?
I would probably say World of Warcraft is in there.
Yeah.
Like, I've definitely lost my cool. Like on this would be like years ago though, like back in the day when it's like a 40-man raid. And you've been spending
There's a lot riding on it.
Hours upon hours
Yeah.
like trying to do like this instance of this like particular boss, and you're just going, and it's just not going well, and then like people start to fuck about in your group and stuff, and it all just comes to one big sort of like,
ragey.
Yeah.
It's like you're reliving it.
Yeah, and I think we'd been at like this boss for like, it must have been like 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
And it just came to a point, and someone, I can't remember what it was, but someone did something, and we wiped, and I just remember just slamming my fist down, and it just annihilated my keyboard. Like, and my keyboard was got like
shattered.
like keys flying out, and yeah, that was probably like one of the only consequences. And like maybe Overwatch as well. Like, I got really big into Overwatch, like at its peak, Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
Like playing competitive, that could get pretty heated sometimes when we're doing like the 6v6.
Yeah,
definitely.
No, yeah, definitely.
And yeah, for me, but yeah, as far as like consequences go, there's not really been too many. I don't. No, because I don't really want to break my controller and then have to go out and
buy a new one.
Yeah, buy a new one.
You do that once and you go, that was so dumb. That was so dumb.
And I mean, these days you're looking at like what, 60 quid? 60 quid to buy a new controller.
That's a 60 quid rage.
That's a game right there.
Yeah,
like,
I would rather have lots of like £5 objects lined up that I could just smash.
Just some small like porcelain like inanimate objects lined up with a small little with a mallet at the side.
Your mate just comes around and is like, what's this row of random ornaments?
Why are some smashed and some aren't? Yeah, I can totally see that, man. What about you, Carlie?
What's your big rage?
My big rage. I feel so like petty now, but it was, I don't know, this moment just always stands out to me was when I was playing Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Right.
And I don't know, it probably isn't even that hard, but like I think you had to fight, like we had to bring down like 5 TIE fighters.
Oh yeah.
And I it's kind of weird really, because I remember being on headset at the time with like a few mates, and we were just all playing like different games, and up until this point, you know, the game was pretty casual, and this happened, and I just like lost it.
Well, you just couldn't do it.
Just threw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, I just it just got me, and I didn't break anything, but I think I just like sort of like lost a bit of my dignity because I was on headset. So like, I had witnesses to like kicking off and getting really frustrated, and
had an audience.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck this. So I was like, I've got to go for a bit, guys. And I didn't even say like bye. I was left. It was like
said goodbye.
Never to be seen again.
I mean, I've probably done that a couple of times, to be fair, just like left the party.
Just didn't even log up, just press the button on the console.
Yeah.
McGarity is offline.
Yeah.
Well, you rage quit when we were playing Fall Guys.
Remember?
Yeah, because Carlie was still on the headset, and I was like, "Josh, just rage quit." And then
no, it's because I just Alt F4.
That's what they all say.
I accidentally Alt F4'd.
Yeah, but we could hear like you through my headset.
So. It's like Alt F4 and just ran downstairs.
Comes across as cool and calm, but secretly seething with rage.
Bubbling inside.
Bubbling.
No, mine. I had. I'm surprised.
Was this one time on Fall Guys?
I'm surprised. Con and Adam, you haven't said any From Software games, to be honest.
Yeah, it was the first thing that came to mind. But
yeah, it's the most.
I've never broken something from.
No, so I haven't.
It's a weird thing. Like, I don't really get stressed from software games. Like, weirdly, I find them sort of like I sort of like disconnect myself, and when I die, I don't care.
Yeah,
I find it just part of the sort of like the learning curve, and like I don't know. I just because I feel. If I'm going to get worked up from a death, like, that's it for me.
It's going to make your next run worse.
It will make it worse. It will throw it off. And it's just, for me, those games are, like, very sort of, like, relaxed and kind of just...
Dying's just part of the game. Like.
Yeah, kind of. It's sort of ingrained in its, like, what it's about. Yeah, and I just find them sort of, like, quite chill. And I don't know, I just... Yeah, I love
Not bothered
playing.
by it. Yeah.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I guess you know what you're getting yourself in for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for me, a trigger is more multiplayer games when it's like a competitive, like that's when it starts to get a little bit heated for me. I would say definitely.
100%. So like my one was FIFA. When I used to play FIFA, like when I lived with Ross, and I was playing a game of Ultimate Team, and it was the final of like the cup they used to do, and I was 2-0 up. And if you win this cup, you would get like 8 packs that you could open. And I was like, I'm fucking cruising. And the fucking internet dropped out. And I was so mad. I grabbed the controller. I didn't smash it. I just pushed the handles together.
No fucking Lenny from Among Mice and Men.
Yeah.
Just like panic.
I was just like, "Argh!" And I was like 22, and I just like pushed the controller together, and the R1 just went, and just hit the coffee table in front. And I've never told Ross this, but it hit the telly, like bang in the middle of the telly, like really fucking hard as well, like his plasma TV at the time. And luckily it didn't do any damage, but I obviously never told him, and then I just fucking like replaced the controller because it was fucked. It was like, you know, like the seal that like joins the two halves together. It was about that wide. And it, like,
You'd essentially broken the neck of the controller. You just like
just pushed it together. The other one I had was the Shadow of the Colossus remake, which has got some of the fucking jankiest platforming I've ever experienced. Like painfully fucking janky. For how good that game is, it's like
beautiful game.
I'm surprised you didn't say Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, dreadful game. Absolutely dreadful game.
What's the level?
Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful game.
It is. Crash Bandicoot's fucking rubbish.
It's a really cool game, but
It's
like when it comes to like platformers, though,
it's like Sonic. It's like 2D Sonics. Just fucking get them in.
Worse than Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Worse
Tell
than
someone's
Sonic.
had a few beers. You don't care about anyone's opinion.
Crash
Do you know what I
Bandicoot
mean?
is just like
This podcast all about positivity.
He's gonna be editing the shit out of this one. as well.
this won't make it.
Oh, I knew this was all getting cut out.
This won't make
The bit where I
it.
was slagging off Crash Bandicoot for 10 minutes. Yeah, that's getting cut out.
We're on question 7 now. Anyway. No, if you take your rose tinted glasses off about Crash Bandicoot, you'll be like, that game's rubbish. The other one, Carlie, you said
That's the bit
is-
that he's going to overlay in over the rest of it, so it seems like he wasn't being harsh.
The other one was Champions Road, that you said on Super Mario 3D World. That is, you have to do it without dying, so there's no checkpoints, and it's just ridiculous. It's like a fucking gauntlet. Right, number 7. What's your favourite ever moment in a video game? This is a hard one.
Wow.
This is a hard
So
question.
many.
There's a
Wow.
lot of good, there's a lot of good video
That's a
games.
really tough one.
I think like the first one which came to mind instantly for me was the Andrew Ryan speech
Yeah.
when he's like, in the end, what separates a man from a slave? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that whole bit of dialogue.
Yeah, and that reveal as well.
Yeah.
It's just insane. Yeah.
That
Absolutely insane.
for me was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like this whole time I've been a puppet.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
It was
exactly.
unreal. And again, another one which like sprang to mind instantly for me was in The Last of Us Part 2 when Joe and Ellie go to the museum and they just like sit in the spaceship. I just feel that whole moment like
Yeah, that was great.
I don't understand how people can say that's a bad game. Like
Yeah.
for so many reasons, but for me that bit alone was just
People are idiots.
basically
People are entitled to their wrong opinion. It's fine.
yeah, like that was like I bawled my eyes out for many a moment, but that bit in particular was just
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely
so
stunning, that scene.
yeah, and
The bit in Mass Effect when you bang the alien.
Which one, though? Which one?
There's multiple.
Any of them.
Any of them.
I've done multiple
I've done them all.
playthroughs.
I've done them all.
Oh my god. I actually had a Bioshock one of mine as well, but it was infinite.
oh yeah,
When it's revealed that it's like infinite timelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like
I had to go
your
and
head
Google.
just fucking explodes.
Had
And
to
it's
do-
like, yeah, it's just one of the best stories in a video game ever.
Wraps them
Yeah,
all up,
it's just-
doesn't it?
It's so good. It's so good. What about you guys, Con, Adam?
I don't know if it's the best one ever, but we talked about it a bit earlier today, actually.
Yeah.
Definitely the best one in recent games that I've played is the ending to A Way Out.
Yeah, fair.
That ending's so good.
It is great. It is great.
So good. And you just find out that you've absolutely betrayed me. And
I maliciously
gone back on
betrayed you.
all of the things that we've said to each other over this like blossoming friendship
Yeah.
that has developed over the course of 12 hours of gameplay.
That's what I'm gameplay.
It's such a curveball, though, isn't it?
And then you just turn around and stab me in the back.
I had to do it, mate. I'm sorry. You know,
Who did you play?
My
Like
brother.
which characters did you play? Who
I
did you?
was the police, the undercover.
You were
police
David
officer.
Brent.
Yeah, I
You,
was
you were David.
Yeah. I was David Brent, and you were just like the Fonz.
I was
The
the guy, no, I was the guy from Arctic to Monkey.
Hey.
Oh yeah, Alex Turner.
I was Alex Turner and he was
Yeah.
David Brent.
Yeah. There you go.
Alex
David
Turner.
Brent.
David Brent. Gripping thriller.
What about you, Adam?
I found this kind of hot. Like, I don't know. Best experience.
Well, favourite ever moment in a video game.
Yeah.
It's just a little question like that.
Oh, it's really hard.
You like best experience, Alton Towers. I'm like, that's not one of the questions, Adam, but fair enough.
It sounds sort of like really dark, but like maybe like the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
Is there saying
yeah,
no
Oh,
spoilers?
is it? Oh,
Yeah.
so this
Spoiler
might.
territory for Carlie.
This will be spoiler territory. Can I not say
But
this?
Carlie hasn't played it.
Oh, I can't really go.
Beep it out.
I can't go with
Well, no,
this.
'cause Carlie was
Yeah,
still
Carlie's gonna hear. Yeah, we can't go. We can't
beep
go.
it out live
yeah,
for Carlie.
we can't. We're gonna have to skip this one.
Oh, fuck.
But
Sorry,
otherwise,
mate.
if it would be that,
Carlie,
it
you
would
had
be.
to leave the room for this.
Yeah, so I'll skip over that one because it can't be that defining moment. But it would
Okay.
probably be.
I think I know what bit you were talking about, though.
A couple of weeks before
Yeah.
release.
All I'm going to say, Temple of the Ancients.
Yeah.
And it sort of put me into a different headspace of how like games can actually
Yeah.
sort of affect you and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But if it's not that, it will probably going on to Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time for the first time.
This was another one that I...
Like it's like looking back at it now,
Oh,
it
yeah.
would look pants, and
Yeah.
you just have like some like
The field's about 10
it would
metres big.
it would be like the Zelda music, but done with like shitty recorder music,
Yeah,
and you just
yeah.
coming out onto the on what the Hyrule Field looked. But at the
No,
time,
at the time, though, yeah.
for
it
me,
was
that
like-
was just like this is just everything. Like
Yeah.
I've got this whole world at like my footsteps,
Feet,
like
yeah.
at my feet, like for me. So that's it would be that like leaving the forest for the first time in Ocarina
Yeah.
of Time and
No.
heading out into the world onto your quest. Pretty much,
Definitely.
that would be big one.
Yeah, 100%. Connell, I thought you were gonna... You had another idea, did you?
Not
Oh,
an idea. Did you see that they are going to put the Final Fantasy 9 card game in Final Fantasy 7 Remake?
Oh, no. I didn't see that. I bet you're well happy with that one, yeah?
What Tetramaster? Is it Tetramaster?
I don't know, mate.
No, because you had Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII.
I don't know what he's got.
Am I going off on a tangent here?
Somebody's pulled out their V-cast.
Yeah, definitely.
You know the card game where you had all the monsters in Final Fantasy 9?
I know, mate.
Yeah. They're putting that in Final Fantasy 7.
I think it's called Tetra something. It's,
You think?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like Tetramaster.
Pretty sure if
is
you
it?
Googled it. it'd be
Yeah, we
exactly
should probably
that.
Google this and actually get some solid information on that one. But
Nice.
yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love that.
Right, number 8. Has your taste in games changed much throughout your life? Anyone want to start?
I thought about this when I saw it on the questions and was like, yeah, it definitely has. And then I was thinking about what I actually play and what I used to play when I was younger, and actually I think it hasn't at all.
Yeah, same.
It is exactly the same as it was. I still play RTSs. I still love like a nice little fantasy turn-based game.
Yeah. I totally
Alien,
agree.
sci-fi. No, nothing's changed. I'm really boring.
No, I'm the same really. I on my notes I put no. I just put,
No, next question.
to elaborate on it a little bit though, like I'm more into Metroidvania games now than I was, but I never used to play them much when I was growing up. So same as From Software games, like because I almost class From Software games as their own genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because you
And-
didn't have them.
Yeah,
That's true.
This
that's,
is
that's very true, but I didn't. So Dark Souls 3 was the one that got me into From Software games, and now I'm like really into them to the point where I consider them
But
some of
if
the greatest of all
but
time.
if like the equivalent of Dark Souls 3 came out when you were younger, then you might have been into them. Then.
yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same, but the one that got me into them was Bloodborne. But
Yeah.
that was also the first one of them that I played.
Yeah, I played Bloodborne first and didn't like it. I couldn't get into it. I found it too hard. And then Dark Souls 3 was the one where I was like, I think I get this now. Then I went back to play Bloodborne and I was like, this is like one of my favourite games of all time, like ever.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing I had was I think I'm like done with roguelikes. Don't think I'm that into roguelikes anymore. Like I played quite a few in the last few years and I think the only one I really like is Hades.
Love a roguelike.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like them as
I
well.
absolutely love them.
Your roguelike is like my open world game.
Yeah.
But I'm quite particular on them.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be like of a certain sort of like blueprint for me to be like, yeah, that's the one. And then
Yeah. No, that's fair. Like Dead Cells I just couldn't get on with. Like Rogue Legacy 2 is like it's right, and Hades is the one where I was like, this is really fucking good, but I think that's carried a lot by its dialogue as well as its gameplay.
Yeah, it's weird you say that because, like, obviously in your last sort of couple of episodes, Desert Island game, a roguelite actually made one of my Desert Island games, in which was Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
And because it's got so much replayability, and it's
that's one thing you can't take away from.
Yeah, it's a different run every time.
Yeah,
like literally, and I can just play it for hours and hours, and it's always something different. Always like a new experience.
What about your tastes? Does your taste change much, Carlie?
It kind of got me thinking really. Like I'd say I play more horror games now because I used to avoid them because
you're scaredy cat.
Yeah, it's weird. I love because like horror films are my favourite genre, but horror
it's
games,
game,
but I definitely play more horror games now. I think if anything, it just made me kind of realise the sort of games I missed out on.
Yeah.
So like one of my biggest, I guess, regrets of like growing up was not playing Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got this like affinity with it, and I completely. Like,
I missed that as well.
Yeah.
I missed that. The first one I played was 5.
Really, I
It's
still
fucking
played
okay.
one.
Such a good game.
I wish I had, because obviously everyone says how much of a staple it is.
Was that hard for you going into that as well? Like, sort of understanding sort of what was going on? Because, like, to go in at that stage, if you were to play, like,
I don't know,
Metal Gear Solid 5 at that point, the story's so ingrained.
It's
and there's
mad anyway, though.
It's a lot to take in, and I can see, like, a lot of people just be like, there's too much going on, I don't really understand this, it's a bit too wild, like, I'm not really connecting with anyone.
But it was the first Metal Gear Solid game that I played, but it was like I wasn't going in blind to what Metal Gear Solid is. Do you know what I mean? I knew a lot about Metal Gear Solid just from being like in the video game sphere all the time.
Yeah.
So I knew what to expect. So it didn't really like hit me like that. And like there was a learning curve into. I'm not very good at stealth games. To be honest.
I'm awful at espionage games. I'm so bad.
So there's a bit of a learning curve with that, but like that would have happened with any new game.
I think Metal Gear 5 though is like almost like it's kind of separate. Like you can separate it from the other games because it is like it is kind of open world. Do you know what I mean? But you can complete the missions in sort of whatever way you like. You can go in all guns blazing if you want, or you can fucking stealth it and set like C4 and then distractions and stuff.
Yeah,
or you can go and just not even get a fucking scene in some missions. And like it's not linear like that. I fucking love Phantom Pain. I think
Yeah, it's really
such a good.
It's a really
game,
good
man.
game.
It's so good. Right, what are we on? Question number 9. Nearly there.
Number 9.
Are there any games that you are particularly nostalgic about?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I mean, who's going to
loads.
go first?
Gears of War, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could be here all day,
Yeah.
like for nostalgia. Like,
Yeah, it's good.
well, I would define like the golden age of JRPGs from like SNES era, like Super Nintendo, like any of that. That's I'm all over that. Like the Donkey Kong Country series, like there's massive nostalgia there for me.
The games you grew up with.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a lot of
Toe
those.
Jam and Owl.
Toe Jam.
Nice.
Toe Jam and Owl.
Nice. I like that.
What's the helicopter one that we
Desert
talked?
Strike.
Desert Strike.
Desert Strike.
Desert Strike, baby.
Jungle Strike.
And they also had Jungle Strike. I had that
Jungle
on the
Strike.
Super Nintendo,
I only
hard as nails.
I only found this out the other day because a guy I worked with, Josh Bone, was like, "Yeah, they did a third one called Nuclear Strike." I was like, "That's bollocks." And he was just like, "Yeah, on PlayStation 1."
Nuclear. Never heard of
I had
it.
to YouTube it. I'd never heard of it before.
No, never.
Never heard
Played
of it.
Jungle Strike and Desert Strike on the Mega Drive.
Syndicate Wars. Did you ever play Syndicate Wars?
No, I didn't. What's
Used to love
that?
It was an old PS1 sort of like top-down cyber cop game.
Nice.
Um,
Cybercraft.
Loaded. Did you ever play Loaded?
It rings a bell,
It's
but
like
I'm not.
top-down twin-stick shooter. Plays like a mad clown.
Yeah, I've never played that.
Never played
Nah.
that.
Childhood. Burnout.
That's a fucking
Classic.
Burnout. Yeah. Tony Hawk's.
Yeah. Tony
Burnout,
Hawk's is a good
Burnout
choice.
3. It was for me. That was the one.
Yeah, Burnout 3.
Burnout 3. Yeah, where you just like what was that mode that you played in it? Where it
Crash
was
mode.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
pure destruction.
Yeah,
you just got to
yeah.
rack up as much damage as possible.
Yeah, so good.
That's the
so
one.
Good.
That's the one.
Collie?
Yeah, like Tony Hawk's. I think SSX Tricky
Hmm.
for me. Like me and my dad usually spend hours playing that and giving each other shit. And it's so fun. But yeah, aside from like all the obvious ones.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like how you think of a game that you played when you were younger and it takes you back to a like specific time and like what your life was like at that time as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I think for me, like Command and Conquer, Zelda and Super Mario, like they're the obvious ones. But Resident Evil 4, like I have such love for that game, and I remember like everything about when I was playing that game. Like me and Robbie used to play that game over and over, that and Metal Gear Solid 3. And we'd listen to Planet of Ice by Minus the Bear or Kasabian's first album.
Oh,
And we would just sit and play it like all the way through. We'd do it in like fucking 4 hours, start again. Do you know what I mean? Just keep playing it and playing it. I remember sat in my fucking spare room, in my bedroom, like in Freshwater, when I lived in Freshwater, and the room was like the size of a fucking wardrobe. And I had like a little 17-inch like silver TV. And we used to just play the Wii.
what a little CRT.
Yeah, we used to play the Wii version of Resident Evil 4 on there, like with my speakers from my computer, just playing like Minus the Bear, and we'd just sit there and just fucking play it all day, and it was just like, this is sick, like this is fucking amazing.
I think another one for me would be Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love that.
I like how you leaned into like Tony Hawk's though, because for me as well, like Tony Hawk's was a bit more than like just to get like. It also sort of helped me sort of like define like what sort of music I'm into.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think it did for like a whole generation of people as well.
Yeah, massive.
Like it got so many people into like another sort of genre and like styles of like music and stuff, which they probably would have never have heard before.
No,
So I think that's a really cool one. So yeah, I think Tony Hawk's is definitely really good choice.
Yeah, hearing Guerrilla Radio, mate, by Rage on Tony Hawk's, it's like,
Papa Roach,
what
Blood
is
Brothers.
this? Yeah,
Come on,
Blood
Millencolin, no
Such
cigar.
a
Come on.
Such a
Very many tunes on that,
There's like they go above and beyond with their.
It was also like kind of one of the first games that had like real like bands in as well. Like,
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
artists, like music in as well. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Right, 10. Final question.
Oh yeah.
This is quite a hard one to finish on.
Okay.
So, if you could change the ending to any game, what would it be, and how would you change it? I know this is really hard,
It is
so no pressure. I can go first if you want to have a think. So
I'm going to go first.
Go for it.
And I'm just going to go, it's a bit of a bullshit answer, but I'm going to say I wouldn't change any ending because...
Oh, curveball.
Because that's just, I feel like that's what, like, the developers and, like, the guys who created that was their intended, like, that's what
vision.
that was their vision. Like, who am I to say to change that? And generally, most games that I've played and completed, like, I've been pretty happy with the outcome, or I'm just like, I can see why you've done that. Like, I don't know what I would do to change that. Like, I sort of struggled with this question a little bit.
It's the hardest one.
I thought it was one of the harder ones, and it's a bit of a bullshit answer, but that's that's where I'm at with that one. I didn't really have too much of a sort of consensus to change any sort of no, actually, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but there will be one. I would change the ending of The Last of Us.
Right. Okay.
And it would be from The Last of Us 1, and it would end there, and that would be it.
Right, so you wouldn't have...
It wouldn't carry on. It would have just been... That would have been the first game.
Okay.
And that would have been it.
Fair.
And it would have just ended, and that would have been the whole story. And I think that would have been perfect.
So you've gone from not changing the ending to just cancel the game.
It's a total... Yeah, but I mean, I know people are going to wildly disagree with me on that one, but that's just...
That's all right.
Sometimes I kind of just like a story to have like a start and a finish, and
yeah.
You don't drag it out for too long or turn it into some big massive IP franchise, and it's just, it is what it is, and I kind of really like that sometimes, even if it is like a sort of an ending that maybe not all the player base are really happy with, or and you just stick with that, and that's that. So
that's fair, man. That's
fair.
That
that would be my one.
Yeah, sometimes a game, like, I agree, can just, maybe gets a sequel it doesn't need.
Yeah.
Like, I think they did a good job with The Last of Us Part 2. But
that's
totally take, like, your point where you're from, definitely. Yeah. Carlie?
Because originally I thought Firewatch.
Yeah.
But then I thought again, and actually I quite liked how it ended with...
Right.
Because I was thinking, I think I was kind of disappointed that you didn't get to meet Delilah and stuff, but then actually I feel like it made quite like a poignant point of it's sort of saying, I feel like the overarching message would be like how we can fall victims of our own imagination. And we can sometimes search for a narrative which isn't necessarily there. Yeah. And I kind of feel like that was the point Firewatch was like drawing to, because all throughout that game you like got drip fed these scenarios, and
the isolation takes over.
And none of it really was what it seemed like. You thought it was going to like really build something, and it didn't. And I quite like the fact that it had that message at the end. I wouldn't change Firewatch.
No, that's fair. Like, as I said, this question is hard. Like, it is a hard question, and like,
I like that though, because it was sort of like, it's sort of going back to what I was saying about The Last of Us. Like, I think some things should just end, and then it's just sort of left up to like player interpretation. Like, maybe it's not the ending that you would want, but like you can sort of go off and take your own meaning or your own thoughts away into that. So
as a counter, and to go into like what mine was, I picked Mass Effect 3. just because like you've played 3 games worth, like maybe 100 hours worth of game. Like, you've made all these choices throughout the game. You've lost people, you've like kept people alive, like, and then you get to the end and you make this fucking massive decision, like in this epic finale where you have to decide like effectively the fucking fate of the galaxy. Yeah. Not planet Earth, the galaxy.
The soul system.
And it's basically the same cutscene, but in 3 different colours.
They did.
I know they. Yeah, I know where you're going. I know they added in like extra context.
Yeah.
And, like, they patched in like a better ending.
Yeah, they did.
But at the time,
Yeah, I
was
completely
like,
agree with you.
You've played this fucking absolute sci-fi epic. Like Mass Effect is one of the best video games.
And this
ever
actually
made.
came up in mine. This is really weird. Like
Yeah.
you saying that, like I thought about Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say that, but then like the developers actually went back and actually
retrospectively, like
they
got
actually
to
went
answer-
in
they
and they
got to answer
physically
this
changed
question.
stuff.
they literally got to answer this question.
They went, oh, the one that we made actually. I'll change that.
Oh, actually, we can change that. Let's go and do that. But yeah, that was mine. Purely because of like the payoff at the time.
Yeah.
Like that was like it kind of made the ending feel like none of like all the choices you made null and void.
Yeah. No. I
But
can. I can definitely see where you're coming from with that
It's,
one.
yeah, it's a hard question. Con, do you wanna
Yeah,
take us home, mate?
I really struggle with this, so I'm going to take you home with the least serious answer.
Go for it.
The game that I'll change the ending to mostly would probably be Until Dawn.
Right.
Okay.
Because when I played it, I got everyone killed.
So
You
you just want to change your playthrough.
Yeah, I just want to change my
Just your
playthrough
particular
to
playthrough.
the best ending possible.
Yeah.
No, the one thing that I would want to change about that, and it's like such a weird picky answer, but so Hayden Panettiere's character, you can get through to the end really easily. But then there's that bit at the end where you flick the switch and she's like trying to flick the switch while the mate is like getting the light bulb open so it'll set off the thing.
gas, yeah.
And you have to like hold still.
Yeah, they're the hardest things ever.
It's so impossible.
It is impossible.
It's so impossible.
The second time I played it, because we played it together. I played
Yeah.
it with Sean when I first played it, and then the second time I played it, obviously I knew it was coming, and I was like, these bits are ridiculous, and I just put the controller on.
Finicky.
Yeah.
I just put the controller on the floor.
Very
I'm not doing it.
finicky.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like you
still-
holding it like that. It's like you're dead. It's like fuck off.
Yeah. So I think I'd change that. I would just change that.
You
like-
just change
mechanic.
that particular mechanic. So it's
Yeah,
not even
just
the
so-
ending as such. It's just
Well, it's sort of mostly for the ending because they're less consequential as you go through the game.
Yeah.
But that
It's a
one.
cheap way to lose a
That
character,
one,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's very
so
specifically
far,
like this character that you've been holding on to for such a long time will either live or die based on this like really janky mechanic.
Yeah.
really finicky, like bit of
Yeah,
like precision
so
that you
Motion
got.
control.
Yeah.
So I would change that because it's like it's right at the end of the game and you're at the point where you're like, I've either done this and saved them or I haven't.
Yeah.
And it just throws this janky ass mechanic at you and it's like, even if that was just something that was more reasonable, just change it for something that's better. Which they may do in the remake.
Yeah.
It's just coming soon.
Yeah, that is coming soon.
So
That is coming very soon.
That's mine. It's probably not it's just one that stuck out to me as like annoying. So.
Yeah. That's fair.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
That was fucking great, guys. Thank you. Thanks for that. 10 questions in the bag. That was a lovely, healthy discussion, I think. Some good answers as well for that last question, I think, as well. We'll do a quick, what you got coming out this week, Con?
It's a Rocket League highlights video. Me, you, and Charlie playing Rocket League, and it's
Lovely
called "Oh, I've Missed You, Rocket League."
Excellent stuff. Is there any salt in that?
There is. There's the guy who scored against us and said, "This one's for your fat mother."
Excellent.
And then also at the end of the game, he then said, "Loot the truth. I hope you die sooner."
Excellent. Yeah.
Nothing but love.
Yeah. Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
but love
Lovely.
within the Rocket
Lovely
League community.
community.
It's so
Delightful community, yeah.
open, just welcome you with open
It's
arms.
fucking mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. Well, that'll do us. The first live episode in the bag. Maybe we could do this again next time if the quality's not shit and if this podcast actually goes out, which I hope it does. Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you for having
Say
us.
Yeah,
bye.
cheers, mate.
And
Thank
thanks
you.
everyone for listening, and we'll see you all in episode 48.
See you on the flip side.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Boy. Bye.